Good morning, everybody. Happy new moon. Ooh, the singing bowl is very active today, and that's because the energy is also very active today. Welcome, everybody, to today's energy focus. My name is Marci Melzer, and I'm an intuitive speech and language pathologist and language facilitation consultant with wavesofcommunication.com. And yeah, I'm a few minutes late because we've got lots of big energy going on, including this Mercury retrograde that we are smack in the middle of. So the first thing that might be happening is that your technology, especially technology for communication, could be kind of acting up. And so that's actually what we're going to be doing today. For those of you who have never joined me on one of my language facilitation energy focus videos, I do three things on this video. The first thing I do is I talk about the astrology for the week and how it's going to affect everybody, including and especially parents and kids who are living in a situation where there's a late talker in the household. And then the second thing I'm going to do is talk about my top 3 videos for the week that you can watch on the Waves of Communication YouTube channel to learn strategies to navigate the energy this week that focus on the typical situations that astrology like this causes in families that have late talking kids. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share one of my language facilitation energy cards with you. And I might be reviewing one. I just realized that I haven't downloaded the last one that I'm going to do. So we're going to be going from the hip and looking at what I've got in my file, because obviously I'm guided to do things going on. So good morning. Good morning, Laura. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Let's get into this week's astrology, because it is big. And if you haven't realized it by now from seeing the information around the world, if you're interested at all in astrology, you realize that today is the new moon in Libra. And that means new moons are when the sun and the moon are right on top of each other. And this particular new moon is extra powerful because every new moon always happens when the sun and the moon are together, but they are flavored by the planets that come around them. And right now we have 2 planets that are right around them. In fact, what's called combust. They're so close. When planets get very close to the sun, when we're talking about an alignment with the sun here, like the new moon, when other planets come close to it, they become combust, which means that it's sort of combustive kind of energy. And of course, the planets that we're talking about here are the 2 planets that affect language facilitation. I'm feeling a little thing in my throat. Let me get a little water here. First time I'm talking today, I guess, as I get on the screen, because I wanted to do this in the morning because this energy is going to really be affecting everybody. All right, so the 2 planets that are combust right now with this new moon are Mars and Mercury. And it's going to happen throughout the day at the points where these become combust. And again, because it's sitting in the new moon energy, this could project out for a couple of days. And in fact, it might. So what it looks like, what it means when we've got these combustive planets all together with a new moon, is we don't get the let's set new intentions to start new things. We've got some messes to clean up. Things are combusting. Literally explosions are going off. And some of the words that I've heard from other astrologers that sort of flavor this new moon is what's going to be highlighted for you with this energy is conflicts of interest. Because as I wrote in my notes, these conflicts of interest are highlighted because we are given the opportunity. So whenever issues, we talk about them as problems, but really they are opportunities when we look at them from an energy perspective, because whenever we get an energy that is not ideal in flow, feeling good for us, it gives us an opportunity to work with that, to learn some lessons, understand some things that are going on, and maybe even guide our world with our free will to help things move forward in a better way. And that's how I encourage everyone to use energy. That's what all of my videos are about, these energy videos. And so the notes that I wrote are, this new moon gives us, because the conflicts of interest are highlighted. What the thing is, we both have in these situations that I'm thinking of, and it could be a therapy situation, it could be a partner situation, it could be a parent-child, it could be a power struggle in your home. Because remember, for the past couple weeks, we've got a lot of explosions going off, a lot of volatile energy, a lot of problem solving, a lot of trial and error has been going on. Now is the time that you have been learning. It's Mercury retrograde. We're thinking about our process. We're revisiting right in the middle of it all the things that we have been doing, and we know what works for us. We know what likes, how it works well for us, and that's happening on both sides of the table in a negotiation situation right now. So this is your opportunity to debate. Strong, combustive debate. It might be lively debate, it might be whatever, but it is all about, and remembering when you go into these debates that you ultimately have the same goal as the person on the other side of the table. It's just that their way of going about things might be different than your way of going about things. And this energy is encouraging us to be able to speak up and share what we need to be successful in this mutual situation, because again, we're here for the same goal. So this is when you're talking in meetings with your kids' teachers, you're planning stuff, you're getting it together. And over the next couple days is when it could be combustive. But the great news is by Thursday night into Friday, here I'm on the Eastern, and where you are, you'll have to adjust timeline. We've got a beautiful situation that's moving into sort of throw the wet blanket on the combustive part of it and let the good stuff shine through, the actual aha moments and the combinations, not so much compromising what we have for the sake of the thing, but using each other's strengths, right? As understanding you're better at this part and I'm better at this part. So let's share our responsibilities and maybe divvy up what we're doing in a more manner that feels better, because we're in Libra right now and the way things work should feel good about you. So we're going to debate for the ultimate good for all of us. So when you come out at the end of this, we've got both on Thursday and Friday, the big planets, the Saturn and Jupiter are both coming out of retrograde. They're stationing direct and they're going to start moving forward again. They've been in retrograde for a while now, where we've been running into trouble, especially that Saturn in retrograde. Things are delayed. Things are rehashed. Let's collect some more data. Let's look at some more stuff. That stuff's moving forward now. The data's been collected. We figured out what's going on. We know what works. We know what doesn't. We know what feels good to us. We know what we're willing to compromise. We know our red lines. We know all of that stuff. And this information now in our Libra communication, combustive time, it's time to have these meetings. It's time to get it straight so that now you can move into the next emotional season. We're going into Scorpio season at the end of the month after we get out of this retrograde with very emotional riding through and digging into Sagittarius season, where we're going to get the jobs done. But we've got to figure out what the jobs are. Now, I'm choking up a little bit because it's time to move on, and the universe wants me to keep these videos short for you, but this is big energy, and you could be feeling like this background behind me, it's murky. I don't understand it all yet. I need to make sure my needs are met in this process. And so what we're going to move into now is the top 3 videos of the week. I got to play my little graphic for you so you can see. Remember, these are the videos that are going to help you navigate this turbulent energy in environments both with your child and around your child. So let's get into video number 1, which is highlighting these triggers that kids are going to do. They're going to trigger you to actually start these negotiations, because this isn't just happening with you feeling like you want to negotiate your kid's environment with other people. This is happening in your kiddos, your late talking kiddos, where they're wanting to negotiate things with you. And the first video is how to identify what those triggers are going to be. And this is the big 3 tools that late talkers use to manipulate parents. And then it is surrounding eating, it's surrounding potty stuff, and it's surrounding bedtime and sleeping. If you are struggling with these areas, this is a sign that your late talker is bringing up problems that they want to work through. And there's strategies in this video that you'll find. The links for all of these videos are in the description. I made special links with tags on them so you can see which videos go with which ones. All right, so here's the next video, which is 5 tips for successful negotiation with late talking kids. Because once you learn that they are triggering you and manipulating you because they're feeling like they're being manipulated, here are these tips for negotiating. And then moving into the next one is 5 strategies to facilitate speech when your child is staying in their own world. Because this is what happens when we feel like our conflicts of interest are not being understood, and your late talker could be retreating or going into their own world, and because they're frustrated, they're not getting the team. If you've been fighting, especially over the past couple weeks, your kiddo doesn't want to fight with you, just as like you don't want to fight with your kiddos. So if they are retreating and going in their own world, this last video will help you reach in and grab them and bring them back to you, to show you how to, hang out with them and understand what's going on and all of that. All right, so let's move into the last part, which is, we talked last week a little bit about how we were in conflict, right? We talked about this last week, how you really disagree on this subject. And really this same strategy is going to be highlighted even more. And the strategy that I was talking about last week still plays in. And it's this one, it's this respond with empathy, where you are going to understand what this late talker has a disagreement about. And they're going to be highlighting the fact that they don't agree with you by triggering you through their behavior. And instead of wanting to punish that behavior and get angry and look away, to cause your child to look away, because they're going to mirror your behavior. If you're angry and you're looking away, they're going to look away from you. So it's the same strategy for last week. I've been working hard on my cards this week, you guys, and they're going to be coming out soon. But again, riding through this stuff, it's not necessarily about starting something brand new. It's about reviewing what you've been doing and making sure that moving forward, you feel good about the right path that you're going on. It doesn't feel very fun right now. And we talk about if it isn't fun, it isn't fun. But we sometimes, when we're not feeling fun, when the energy feels low, when we're feeling like our needs aren't being met, maybe that's how the universe and God or whoever you follow is reminding you that your child who can't communicate is also feeling these things. Because remember, planetary energy, it doesn't just affect you if you're watching this video, it affects all of us. And so it'll affect the people around you, even if they're not conscious of astrology and energies like that. So this video will help you ride through those things, I hope. And yeah, so don't forget to join me tomorrow for our live Q&A visit on Thursday. And you can visit my website, wavesofcommunication.com, because parents are the best language facilitators. The website is the hub to learn all of the strategies. If you want something new to try this week, the book is available. The parent testimonials are available there at wavesofcommunication.com. And like I said, every Thursday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, you can join me right here where you're watching this video for a live Q&A. Tomorrow's video, I'm going to be starting with a question about pacifiers, or as they call them in the UK, dummies, or Australia, they call them there too. I've got got a lot of late talkers who use pacifiers, and parents don't realize how that can be a big detriment, because if there's something in your mouth, you obviously can't talk, and how the best way is to negotiate, again, for a win-win situation. So we're going to be starting the Q&A with that topic tomorrow, and of course, answering your questions when you join me live. If you can't join me live tomorrow for Q&A and you're still watching this video because you like the energy part too, go ahead and put your questions here or on any of the videos that you watch, even any of the videos of the week, because I or my team will see those questions and we'll integrate them into the Q&A videos, just like I do with people who join me live. So that way you're able to get the answers to your questions too. Okay, keeping the video short again for the week, hoping you're all riding out this energy with grace. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude is always what's going to help you ride through any time you're feeling low. Bring that energy up to the point where you're feeling hopeful, confident, positive. You might not know what the next steps are, but you do know that you're capable of riding out any bad energy that comes, because you know how capable you are. You know how you can always go back to your connection with your child. You can always go back to the strategies that you know that have worked for you. And if you're triggered by your kiddo, or you're triggered by your boss, or you're triggered by your kid's therapist or teacher or somebody like that this week, count that as a blessing and dig in, take the opportunity to use the information, see where you are with a vibe, and negotiate, have a debate about your side of the story. And perhaps because this energy is ripe for negotiation, those people who you never ever would have thought would listen to you about your point, maybe now, because we've got this energy moving forward, if they haven't listened to you over the past few weeks, by the end of the week or moving into the beginning of next week, they could. Maybe they will. Maybe you'll see a lightening in the energy by Thursday and Friday. So just be careful on Wednesday, today, and tomorrow. Slow down. People could be accident prone in this kind of energy. Lots of volatility. You could go off. Remember, everything's ripe for earthquakes and volcanoes right now. Lots of combustive stuff. And if it goes off, know where the water source is, know how to put that blanket over the fire, get things back together with empathy and love, and just take your time. There's no rush. The energy will pass just like it came in, right? It didn't used to always feel like this. You remember what it feels like to be happy. It's up to you to turn it around and get it back. And that was the big message from the universe today. So if you're still watching this, thank you so much for joining me today. You must really be feeling the energy. And to ride us out, I'm going to go ahead and play the singing bowl one more time, because I really like the high vibe sound that helps me bring my energy up. And you can move forward into watching one of these other videos to learn more strategies for the week. And I'll see you tomorrow on live Q&A. Okay, here goes the singing bowl again, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great week, everybody.